we are, studying very specific cultural group of Korea, but we can certainly relate that experience into other cultures as well. Anyhow, so this PowerPoint is almost to the end. So this incense burner is very important, as I'm going to emphasize later in the midterm exam review as well. So Goryeo Dynasty, we don't have many objects made. The reason is during the Mongol invasions, most buildings were burnt down. And then a lot of goods, especially golden or silver objects, were taken away by Mongols because they were precious. They were melted and made into something else. You can imagine during the Goryeo Dynasty, there are a lot of colossal gilt bronze statues of Buddhas and Avalokiteshvaras. If you have that many hundreds of temples in Kaesong, the capital, obviously you needed hundreds of those gilt bronze main statues of colossal sizes, but none of them survived. So this incense burner is small. This is about 2 feet high. The purpose of this one is incense burner means it looks like a basin. So you put the sand inside. The sand will be filled up to here. Then what do you do? Have you ever seen the incense sticks like this? Like it's made of the tree ashes, fragrant. So you are going to place the sticks like a candles, right? It's not candles though, but you are going to put the incense here, and then you are going to put the light it, and it will burn, and but it's safe because it's a sand. Eventually, it's extinguished. Anyhow, so that's the purpose of it. So where do you put it? Usually in the main altar of the Buddhist worship hall. In the main altar, like the colossal statue is seated all the way behind. So in the front, you are going to put like a candlesticks on either side, and then you are going to put the incense burner like this. So it is a dark color. That's because it's made of bronze. So it's original color of bronze, but what you have to pay attention to is inlay. So it is from Hungwangsa Temple of Kaesong. Again, Kaesong was the capital of Goryeo Dynasty. And then it was made in 1289. So we know that at the bottom there is an inscription. So based on inscription, we know the temple is Hungwangsa. And then the year it was made in 1289. And then the motif that you see is the dragon. You see the dragon, the dragon's claws, right? 3 large claws. And then you have some clouds, and you have some plant motifs. But this is one side, but so you have a 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 2 of them are dragons, and then the other 2, front and the back, are phoenix birds. So you see phoenix over here. So this is what you are looking at it in the bottom, the pedestal. These are more like a ornate, beautiful plant motif. So here it is inlay. I said inlay is very important. Can you imagine how this decoration was created? Everybody? Any jewelry design? I don't think we had a jewelry design, but do you have any idea? Jae-hee, yes?
Yeah, I think they carved out the shape, and then put the wire inside the shape, and then make it flat.
Yes, that's very good. So how do you put that silver and make it flat?
Silver wire.
Silver wire.
They melt it, maybe?
Well, it is thin, so it's not melting. They don't involve any heat. So you need a good hammer. It's like a metal to metal, and you are hammering in. So that was a very good summary, Jae-hee. So everybody can imagine that you have a thin silver wire, and then so if you see very carefully, you see that these lines are not really straight or even in thickness. You see, like some parts are slightly thinner than the others. So these are your carving. You need a very sharp, like this triangular, tiptoed little carving tools, right? And then you are going to use this tip, like you have that little stick. So you're going to use this little sharp tip to go through this, so that in the end this one has a little bit like a V shape, like a very small V shape traces, so that you are going to put silver wire through the line, and then you are going to hammer it in so that they fit it. And then the surface is smooth. But as you can see, the roundness is not really like a machine, like a parallel. You see, like it's made of hand. So it's all based on your carving, and then you put the silver wire and hammer it. So these trees are, for example, very thin versus this outline. So the thickness of that knife or the metal tool was a little bit different. But look at this. What is really amazing is every single scale of dragons. I mean, you can imagine you can do the long outlines. You have to do the little piece of cut silver wires. None of them is connected. Every single bit of it, very small of it. So very laborious, but you can imagine it's really elegant and pretty. So this little incense burner represents the aesthetics of Korea really, really well. This is one of rare examples of showing us the actual remains of Korea's aristocratic taste. They want something really, really well. Anyhow, I'm going to skip this. These are really trying to explain that Mongols were very different kind of people, but Mongols who were living in this type of tent, like this tent, they are coming from this land to Korea and to China. So all the cultures were foreign to them, but eventually Mongol rulers became acculturated into Chinese civilization. So they want to portray themselves more like a Chinese emperors. But during this time, there was the famous cultural exchange between East and West, and then man is Marco Polo. Does anybody remember who Marco Polo is?
He was a European traveler that went to China, right?
Yes, he was an Italian, like a merchant, right? And then accidentally he traveled all the way to China through Central Asia and Eurasia. So we have travel records of Marco Polo. So this is an illustration of Marco Polo's travel record. So in it, there are a lot of customs that he's referring to, and that is still remain. So this is literature. And a lot of people always wonder, is it telling the truth or not? And literary scholars say that Marco Polo are using too many literary sources instead of the first-person observations. So some people are very doubtful whether he went there or not, but there are historical records that show customs of Mongol government. So for example, this is called the Paizi. And that is Mongol-style passport. So instead of our laminated paper passport, this is made of bronze. No, this is actually made of iron. And you carry this, and these are Mongol scripts, and saying that based on your own status, well, any travel office or the borderline offices, they can give you new horses. They can give you 2, or they can give you 3. Or if you're a really important person, they can give you as many as 5 horses to you. So there are those kind of reasons. So Marco Polo carried one because he was traveling with the imperial princess going to West Asia.